All right, Bridget, just give us a bit of an introduction to yourself. Just your full name, your age, a bit of your family, what you do. Yeah, just a bit of an introduction to yourself.
Okay. My name is Brigitte Clark, 46 years old. I work in administration and finance. And yeah, I've got two beautiful daughters, married for 22 years in December.
Tell us about that day when you were diagnosed with cancer. What led up to it?
Well, honestly, I wasn't wise. I had felt a lump quite a few months before, and I just thought it was hormonal. I've always had big breasts. It was a fatty gland or something. And also because of finances, I thought I'll leave it. I wasn't on a medical aid, so I thought I'd leave it. And, just it would go away. I was praying and all of that. But it got to a stage where my breast started to change and the nipple looked different. And I couldn't sleep nicely on my side. And I kept thinking I had to do something about it. So there was a mammogram through Pink Drive, which is like a free service. Went and had that done. But it all it took too long to get the results. It took like 6 weeks. Things were not getting better, So I went to my local doctor, and the minute she saw my boobs, she said, no, there's something here. We have to send you for a biopsy straight away. And had the biopsy maybe the next day or couple of days. Results came in, and I remember sitting in my car with my husband, and I felt absolutely awful and praying to God and thinking, this can't be happening. But I had peace with God, but I was still anxious. It was a horrible feeling. You feel like your whole world has stopped. And I was sitting in the parking lot at work, and everyone was driving past and living life, and it felt like our lives had stopped in the car.
All right. So, Bridget, do you have a family history of cancer?
Yes, and I do. My granny, on my mom's side, she got breast cancer maybe in her 60s or so. And then she had the same thing. She had surgery, she had chemo, and it was fine. But then a few years later, she got lung cancer. It was then they tested and saw that she had lung cancer. So she actually started with breast cancer and then ended up with dying of lung cancer. And then my two aunties on my mom's side, they were diagnosed within a couple of months of each other. And the saddest thing that I haven't told you yet is my sister has just been diagnosed as well. The thing is, if you've got it in your family, you have to be aware. And thankfully, because of me and because of all of this, she went and tested quickly. She felt something, she tested quickly. Okay. So hers is early stages.
Tell us now about the process that followed once you now were diagnosed. What was your treatment process?
We got the results from the doctor. She phoned me actually because she knew I was anxious. Went and saw her. She then told me about a wonderful Dr. Ben that she had her treatment through. She had cancer 10 years ago. And she'd used Dr. Ben at Mill Park, was her doctor. And she referred me to her. And she told me it will be a year out of your life, and you will get through this. She was very positive because she had been through it. So I went to see my Dr. Ben, and she told me that it was a hormonal cancer, like estrogen driven, and told me I will have to do, because I didn't have a medical aid. So that's why Platinum Life was such a lifesaver, because it helped with the it helped with the treatment after, it's helping still with medication. You have to have like blood tests, you have to have a MRI, you have to have a CT scan, and all of that is paid up front. So it's thousands of rands that we borrowed money from family, because I think the one thing was maybe 9 grand, the other biopsy was about 5,000 or 6,000 rand. So you have to have like funds available. I think even if you have medical aid, you have to pay for it in advance and maybe claim back. So it's quite a lot of costs. So that's, so then she told me treatment plan would be chemo for like 8 sessions. And then it would be your operation. And we would like do a lumpectomy and see what we could do, like fix, make them even. And then it would be radiation. So that's like sort of the 3-phase thing that she sets out for my kind of cancer. And it was an invasive mammary carcinoma of no specific kind.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
that was it.
Okay. So you went through the chemo. Tell us a bit about how you experienced it.
I ended up going to Charlotte McLeachley because the cost privately would have been astronomical. And it was all through Dr. Ben's. She's got like Helen Joseph. She helps at Charlotte McLeachley with the oncology. And then she's got her Mill Park. So it was through her spectrum of doctors. It was very difficult to go there, but it was also wonderful because you realize that there's a whole world of people sitting in a room with their families. This was pre-COVID, and waiting to have this thing happen. And it's quite because you know you need it and you need it to get better, but you know you're going to hurt your body and you're going to suffer. And they find a vein. I had problems with my veins, so it was always like praying for a vein. And the nurses are lovely and everything, but in the end, it's emotional. You either plug your earphones in and listen to music, pray, chat. We chatted a lot, and then you tell your stories and you hear these amazing women and men, because it was like lots of breast cancer patients, but a lot of guys as well, and all ages. We were adults in the adult section, but there was some young ladies, like really young ladies. And then there was obviously the old gogos and, sitting there. And you sit in this whole room with just these chairs, like lazy boys, so that you can sort of relax.
Okay.
And, you wait for I think the first 4 sessions was an hour and a half. And then I changed onto another kind of chemo, which was more really a tough one for the last 4 sessions, and that was about 3.5 to 4 hours a session. And it's quite sore sometimes, but you get through it. And then you almost become buddies with the people around you, and you're chatting and hi, because you're on the same day. You scheduled every 3 weeks. We would be scheduled to go there, so you start to know the people and to give the newcomers inspiration, don't worry, I've been here, it'll be fine, or where to go, or what to expect. And everybody's different, and they're all pretty much bald with no eyebrows and whatever, and you're all in it together, you just handle it, with God's grace. And at Charlotte McLeachley, the one nurse, she was brilliant. Her name was Sister Honey. She would pray with us. She would sing praise songs. The other nurses were also beautiful, but she just made me always feel at peace that, no matter what, God was with us. We're not expected to have an easy life. Nobody has an easy life.
Well, you got through it. Yeah. Congratulations, really.
Yeah. And it was, I think the after effects as well weren't bad the first 4 sessions. I didn't puke. I didn't even lose weight. I was so upset. I thought, well, at least I'll lose weight and I'll get skinny. But I just felt nauseous and tired, and you feel really out of sorts. But the last 4 sessions were really bad, where I did have a lot of pain. But you take painkillers, you take sleeping tablets.
Okay, yeah. All right. And so you recently had your op a few weeks back.
In June, yeah.
Okay, and also how was that experience also now during this COVID period, how was that like?
It was, look, at Helen Joseph, it's obviously, everything, it's a good hospital. I mean, everything was clean and nice, and the nurses were lovely. We were also all friends there in the ward, chatting and whatever. The op was scary, but it wasn't that bad. If I think now, the pain, yes, was bad, but you're amazed at how your body can recover. And I would suggest that people also try and be healthy and more have some exercise and stuff, because I wasn't a very healthy in the sense of gym and walking and my health. I think I took a bit longer to heal.
Okay.
So, and to walk, and then I ended up getting that pulmonary embolism and all of that, you see. So, but otherwise the op was fine. I've healed quite well, still healing. Yeah, the hospital was good, nurses were good, everything worked out well in the end. And I've got a smaller breasts now, which is better for me as well, because I had quite big breasts. And they managed to keep my nipples, you know, and like remove like a lot. They removed the lump and some lymph nodes on the side. So I have a cut here. But they're very thin cuts. They don't seem to, I don't think they're going to be like all puckered.
All right, so radiation is still ahead of you. Yeah, how many sessions are you going to receive? 6 weeks, every day?
6 weeks, Monday to Friday. Fine. It won't be like chemo. I believe it will just be your skin burns a bit and gets irritated, and then you done.
Yeah, everybody's body is different, you know. So some people burn a bit and others actually are fine afterwards. So yeah, shame. So, but best of luck still with that, Brigitte, really. And
thank you.
I want to ask you now about your experience with platinum life. You know, when you were diagnosed, you know, the claims process. How did that go for you, Brigitte?
It's been some time now, but I can say if I remember, it was so simple and nice. And you know, when I started that policy, I'm trying to remember how I started it. I think I got a little gift pack years ago from, I think my cousin nominated me or put my name forward, and it was makeup products or face products. And I ended up taking the policy because it was quite affordable and I didn't have something in place like that. And when we went without medical aid for quite a few years, that was one of the things I always had to keep. It was affordable, and it was something in the back of my mind that I think God was saying, don't stop this policy. Because I mean, my history and everything in my family. And if I look back now, even when we went through difficulties, I phoned Platinum Life and I asked them, can you stop the policy for a bit? I can't afford to pay it. This was years ago. And they actually gave me a payment break. And I just, when things came right, I carried on with it. So for all these years, I've had this policy, affordable, and it's actually such peace of mind, because when I claimed and everything, obviously you got to fill out documents, you got to get your doctor's reports and all the tests and everything. But it was such a smooth process, emailing back, answering back, everything was easy, especially, and then when you came into it, it was so lovely to receive a beautiful gift pack that made me feel special because it was personalized. And like it was another woman seeing what I'm going through, and then when you still help me again afterwards with the voucher, it was like, things don't happen like that. And it's just so beautiful that care, especially for women when you're feeling so awful, it was so special. It really was special. And of course, my policy was paid out. I didn't have hassles backwards and forwards. It was easy and seamless. And I've been telling everyone about Platinum Life, you know, all the women that I know, and many of them want to join because it's been such a help. You know, even with the medicine, when you need like painkillers, whatever, because I didn't have a medical aid, so everything was cash. So you really, like, I could pay family back. It was just such a help. It was a help, really it was.
Brigitte, now, also now just lastly, I mean, you said a bit about the advice you will give to others just to be a bit more healthy and active. But what advice would you give someone who would think, no, cancer won't happen to me?
Well, obviously it can happen to anybody, and this life's not easy, and we always think it will never happen, but it does happen. And now, especially, I'm finishing. My family has been through this with me for a whole year. Now my sister has to suddenly just start. So if you think it can't happen, it can, and even to someone, your sister, going through it at the same time. So that shows you how prevalent it is. I spoke to my sister's father-in-law, and when he went for his prostate cancer, the room was full of women, and that's all for breast cancer. It's becoming such a it's taking over almost. There are so many women. When I go see my Dr. Ben on a Saturday or a Sunday, that's when she sees her patients, because she's in surgery all the rest of the week and at Helen Joseph. That room is full of couples, women there for their breasts. Don't wait. I was so stupid to wait. Fear, don't be afraid. You have to have it done. If there's a history in your family, do it younger. Keep regular checkups. If you feel something, do something. If you don't have the money, there's government facilities that can help with Helen Joseph and things like that. Do something about it. Because I could have even avoided chemo if I had gone sooner. That's the difference. You could end up having just surgery and radiation. And I've heard nobody dies of breast cancer, but if you leave it, it travels to other parts because it goes in your lymph nodes, and then it travels to other parts of your body. And that's the thing, when it gets into your liver, your kidneys. So something so small could have been prevented if you catch it early. So I'm so grateful to Platinum Life and for helping me. And even like we're always saying how good it is that we had Platinum Life for us. And we really were so blessed.